The galaxy laughed at Earth. In the great orbital hall, powerful alien races watched the screen with clear boredom. On the screen was Earth's newest creation, a strange-looking prototype ship. "It is too small," one race said. "It is badly designed," another mocked. Some even smiled and turned away. They called it a failure before it ever flew. Earth's leaders stood silent, their faces tight with shame. No one defended the prototype. Far away from the council hall, in a quiet space dock near Earth, a young human mechanic worked alone. His name was Eli Carter. He was not famous, not important, and not invited to great meetings. Eli spent his days inside an old hangar. The prototype ship sat in the center, scratched, dusty, and half forgotten. Other workers called it junk. Some laughed when Eli said it could still work. "Why waste time on trash?" they told him. Eli never answered. He believed machines had souls, and this one felt different. That night, the hangar lights were low. Eli was repairing a cracked engine plate when he heard a sound. It was soft, weak, almost like a breath. He froze. The hangar was supposed to be empty. Slowly, he picked up a small light tool and followed the sound. Behind stacked cargo crates, he saw movement. Something large shifted in the shadows. Eli's heart started to race. Then the light revealed her. A girl, but not human. She had small horns, torn wings, and scales that shimmered faintly in the dark. She was bleeding. Her breathing was shallow. Her eyes opened wide in fear when she saw him. "Please," she whispered, her voice shaking. "Do not tell them." Eli dropped his tool in shock. A dragon girl was hiding in his hangar. In all his years of working near space docks, he had never seen anything like this. "I will not hurt you," Eli said slowly. He kept his hands low and stepped back. "I fix things, I do not break them." The dragon girl watched him carefully. After a long moment, she relaxed just a little. "My name is Lyra," she said. Eli helped her sit against a crate. He used basic medgel to stop the bleeding on her wing. Lyra winced but did not cry out. "You should not be here," Eli said. "The galaxy hunts dragons." Lyra gave a weak smile. "That is why I am here," she replied. "No one looks at this place anymore." Her eyes moved to the prototype ship. The one everyone laughed at. The one called a failure. "That ship," Lyra said softly. "It is not broken." Eli frowned. "It barely powers on," he replied. "They say it will never work." Lyra shook her head. "They do not understand it," she said. "This ship listens." Eli stared at her in confusion. "Listens to what?" he asked. Lyra looked directly at him. "To you," she answered. The lights in the hangar flickered. The prototype ship let out a low hum. For the first time in months, its core glowed faintly blue. Eli stepped back in shock. He had not touched the controls. The ship was responding on its own. Lyra closed her eyes and whispered, "This is not a failure. It is a key." Eli swallowed hard. "A key to what?" he asked. Lyra opened her eyes, fear and hope mixed within them. "A future where humans are no longer laughed at," she said. Outside the hangar, distant alarms began to sound. Someone had noticed the energy spike, and the galaxy was about to come knocking. Eli looked at the prototype, then at the injured dragon girl. In that moment, he knew everything was about to change. Part 2. The alarms outside the hangar grew louder. Red warning lights flashed across the walls. Eli moved fast and shut down the main doors. Lyra flinched at the sound. "They will feel the signal," she said softly. "The ship has awakened." Eli looked at the glowing core of the prototype. It pulsed slowly, like a living heart. He had worked on it for years, yet he had never seen this. "I did nothing," Eli said. "I did not activate it." Lyra nodded. "You did something more important," she replied. "You believed in it." Eli did not understand. Machines followed rules, codes, and commands. Belief had never been part of the design. Lyra struggled to stand. Her injured wing dragged slightly on the floor. Eli rushed to help her. "Sit," he said firmly. "You need rest." Lyra allowed him to guide her back down. "You are kind," she said. "That is rare in this galaxy." Eli shook his head. "I am just a mechanic," he replied. "No one important." Lyra looked at him closely. "That is why it chose you," she said. Eli frowned. "Chose me for what?" he asked. Lyra placed her hand against the cold metal floor. "The prototype was built using human design," she explained. "But its core was made from something older." Eli listened carefully. His fear slowly turned into curiosity. "It was made using fragments of ancient dragon tech," Lyra continued. "Long before the current galaxy powers existed." Eli's eyes widened. "No one told us that," he said. "They were afraid," Lyra replied. "Dragon technology reacts to emotion, will, and intent." Eli looked back at the ship. "So other races failed because," he paused. "Because they do not trust," Lyra finished. "They control, they dominate, they fear loss." She looked at Eli again. "Humans are different." Eli gave a small laugh. "Everyone says humans are weak," he said. Lyra's eyes glowed faintly. "We are hunted because we believe," she said. "And humans still believe, even when mocked." The ship hummed again. Panels shifted slightly, as if adjusting. Eli felt a strange warmth in his chest. Suddenly, a warning message appeared on Eli's wrist console. "Unidentified fleet detected. Multiple ships approaching Earth orbit." "They are coming," Eli said quietly. Lyra closed her eyes. "They felt the awakening," she replied. "The Council will want the ship." Eli clenched his fists. "They laughed at it," he said. "They called it trash." Lyra opened her eyes. "That is why they fear it now," she said. Eli looked around the hangar. At the forgotten tools, the dust, the silence. "This place was invisible," he muttered. Lyra nodded. "Invisible things survive," she said. Eli helped Lyra stand again. "We need to hide you," he said. Lyra shook her head. "No," she replied. "They will find me sooner or later." She placed her hand on the ship's hull. "This ship was never meant to run," she said. "It was meant to stand." Eli felt the ship respond under his hand. For the first time, he did not feel like a small mechanic. He felt like a choice had been made. "What happens next?" Eli asked. Lyra looked toward the sealed hangar doors. "Now," she said softly, "the galaxy tests humanity." The prototype's core brightened. And outside, the stars began to move. The first enemy ship appeared above Earth like a dark shadow. Then another, and another. Soon the stars themselves seemed blocked by metal and fire. Eli watched the sensor screen inside the hangar. His hands were shaking, but his voice stayed calm. "Those ships are not here to talk," he said. Lyra stood beside him, leaning slightly on a crate. "They never do," she replied. "They take what they fear." Across Earth, warning sirens filled the cities. Civilian ships rushed for shelter. The global defense network powered up in panic. A message burst across all channels. "This is a Galactic Council enforcement fleet. Surrender the prototype immediately." Eli clenched his jaw. "They mocked it yesterday," he said. "Now they demand it today." Lyra nodded slowly. "That is how power works in this galaxy," she said. Inside the hangar, the prototype ship responded to the tension. Lights traced new paths along its hull. Panels moved without commands. Eli stepped closer to the control console. The screen lit up with symbols he had never seen before. They shifted like living things. "I do not know how to fly this," Eli admitted. Lyra placed her hand over his. "You do not need to," she said. "Think." Eli closed his eyes. He thought of years of laughter, of being ignored, of being called useless. The ship hummed louder. The symbols settled into readable forms. Control unlocked. Eli's eyes snapped open. It listened, he whispered. Outside, the enemy fleet moved closer. Weapons powered up. Space itself seemed to hold its breath. Earth's leaders argued on open channels. Some begged, some threatened. None of them had control. They will fire soon, Eli said. Lyra nodded. That is why you must choose, she replied. Eli looked at her injured wing. At the fear she tried to hide. Then he looked at the ship. I am not giving it to them, he said firmly. The hangar doors shook as external locks disengaged. Emergency systems screamed. The prototype began to lift on its own. What are you doing? Eli asked, half in shock. Lyra smiled faintly. It knows, she said. The hangar roof opened. Starlight poured in. The prototype rose into space. Every enemy sensor locked onto it instantly. Target acquired, multiple locks confirmed. Eli felt fear, real and sharp. But he did not turn away. Do not attack, Lyra said softly. Defend. The first enemy shot fired. A beam of pure energy rushed toward them. The prototype reacted before Eli could think. A shimmering field formed around the ship. The attack vanished like mist. Silence filled the enemy channels. Confusion spread through their formation. Eli let out a shaky breath. We survived, he said. Lyra's eyes glowed brighter. That was only the first test, she replied. More enemy ships moved into attack positions. Weapons charging again. Eli placed both hands on the controls. This time without doubt. Then we will pass it, he said. The prototype surged forward. Not with speed, but with purpose. And across the galaxy, fear began to change sides. The prototype moved straight toward the enemy fleet. Not fast, not slow. Confident. Enemy commanders shouted orders across open channels. Target the human ship. Destroy it now. Eli felt the weight of every eye in the galaxy on him. His hands were steady. His heart was not. Lyra stood beside him, holding onto a support rail. Her injured wing trembled slightly. This is the moment, she said. The first wave of enemy fire struck. Beams and missiles hit the prototype at once. The defensive field flared bright. Instead of breaking, it grew stronger. Each attack fed the shield, turning fear into power. They are making it stronger, Eli said in disbelief. Lyra nodded. They do not understand, she replied. This ship grows from resistance. Eli remembered every insult. Every time humans were called weak. Every laugh in the council hall. The prototype responded. Its hull shifted, forming new shapes. Weapons emerged, not sharp, but precise. Locking systems, Eli said, reading the display. They are not lethal. Lyra smiled. Humans choose mercy, she said. That choice matters. The prototype released a pulse of light. It spread across the enemy formation like a wave. One by one, enemy ships went dark. Engines stopped. Weapons shut down. Silence replaced chaos. Across the galaxy, observers watched in shock. No destruction. No death. Earth's defense network froze. They had never seen such control. Enemy commanders tried to retreat. But the prototype moved faster now, blocking escape paths. Stand down, Eli transmitted. His voice calm and clear. This fight is over. For a long moment, there was no response. Then a single message came through. Cease fire. The enemy fleet powered down. Helpless. Exposed. Lyra closed her eyes in relief. You did it, she whispered. Eli shook his head. No, he said. We did it. Suddenly, a new signal appeared. Priority channel. Galactic Council request. They want answers, Eli said. Lyra looked toward the stars. They are afraid, she replied. And fear listens. The prototype slowed, holding position above Earth. Silent and watchful. Across the galaxy, the story spread fast. Humans did not destroy. They stopped a war. Eli exhaled slowly. He knew this was not the end. It was only the moment humanity was finally seen. The Galactic Council chamber was silent. Never before had so many powerful races waited instead of commanded. The prototype hovered in open space. Calm, unmoving, watching. Eli stood before the council through a live transmission. He was still wearing his mechanic suit, stained with oil and dust. Lyra stood beside him, her wings bandaged, her posture proud. "You have violated council authority," one voice said. "You activated forbidden technology." Eli did not lower his head. "You laughed at it," he replied. "You called it useless." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Lyra stepped forward. Her voice was soft, but it carried. "You fear what you cannot control," she said. The council focused on her. Many had not seen a dragon in centuries. "This ship was never meant to rule," Lyra continued. "It was meant to reveal." One council member spoke sharply. "Reveal what?" Lyra looked across the chamber. "Truth," she said. "That strength without belief is empty." She turned slightly toward Eli. "You mocked humans because they fail," she said. "But humans rise every time." The chamber grew quieter. "Humans feel fear," Lyra continued. "But they move anyway. They feel pain. But they protect others." Eli felt his chest tighten. He had never thought of himself as special. "The prototype listened because humans listen," Lyra said. "To hope. To each other." No one interrupted her. "You hunted dragons because we believed," Lyra said. "Now you see why belief matters." A long pause followed. Finally, the highest council voice spoke. "Earth will be granted equal standing. The prototype program will continue under human control." Shock spread across the galaxy channels. Eli blinked. "Are you serious?" he asked quietly. "Yes," the voice replied. "Humanity has proven restraint and strength." Lyra smiled for the first time without fear. Across Earth, people watched the broadcast. Some cried. Some cheered. Some simply stood in silence. The prototype returned to its hangar days later. No longer forgotten. No longer laughed at. Eli still worked on it every day. But now others watched him with respect. Humans and dragons began a new alliance. Not built on power, but on trust. Lyra prepared to leave one morning. Her wings healing. Her path calling her elsewhere. "Will they laugh again?" Eli asked. Lyra shook her head gently. "They laughed once," she said. "They learned." As she walked toward the light of open space, Lyra spoke one final line. Humans were never weak. They were only waiting to be heard. And across the galaxy, no one laughed at Earth again.